It is commonly understood to represent stability, but it also bears a striking resemblance to a modern-day device. It first appears on the staff of the creator god Ptah, and it's this pillar with 4 rings at the top that looks very much like a Tesla coil, a device invented to transmit electricity wirelessly. And I suggest that based on other evidence found in Egypt, our ancestors did just that.
The Sun Temple at Abu Ghraib, Memphis, Egypt. In 1898, an excavation team with the Berlin Museum discovered the base of a massive obelisk, estimated to have once stood at over 160 feet tall.
According to the ancient Egyptian building texts from Edfu, Abu Ghraib was known as the place of the gods. Egyptologists know it as a place where the ancients connected with divine energies. It is said that this is the very place where pharaohs and priests experienced heightened awareness through the use of vibrations transmitted through the obelisk.
This ancient obelisk was used as a geodetic marker, pinpointing the source of some type of ancient energy. Maybe not spiritual energy, but actual physical energy that they were able to harness.
While scholars believe Abu Ghraib was home to one of the largest obelisks ever constructed, similar shaped monoliths have been found in hundreds of variations all over the world. Unsuitable for shelter, storage, or a higher vantage point, could obelisks have served another, more powerful purpose?
There's evidence that obelisks are tapping into this natural energy that's part of the earth. The whole concept is to take these natural energies of the earth and manipulate them. It's a subtle energy, but for those who have the devices and technology to see and measure this energy, it's something that can be used.
I believe obelisks are kind of like acupuncture needles for the earth, focusing and possibly healing earth energy meridians that are not balanced, and that the ancient cultures knew how to do that.
A vast number of obelisks are constructed from granite, a stone containing high concentrations of energy-responsive quartz crystal. Because of its crystalline structure, quartz has the ability to convert the Earth's natural electrical vibrations into usable energy by a property known as piezoelectricity.
The piezo is for the vibrating or oscillating, and the electric is for electric. What this means is that you can use electricity to make them vibrate mechanically, and when they vibrate mechanically, they can generate electricity.
Crystals have been used throughout all of history for various inventions, various technologies, and for getting things done. Your watch that you wear on your wrist could be a technology that uses crystals. Crystals are literally a tool and a technology that's essentially for transducing energy. And that is taking energy in one state and essentially converting it to another state.
Is it possible the ancient cultures that erected obelisks had some understanding of the high-tech properties of quartz? And if so, could they have used obelisks to transmit energy over vast distances? Ancient astronaut theorists believe the answer is yes, and that evidence can be found by studying the work of Nikola Tesla. In July 1899, the famed scientist claimed to have invented a way to transmit electricity through the air, wirelessly, all over the world. By harnessing the Earth's natural conductivity, or what Tesla called standing waves, giant transmitters could send and receive limitless amounts of electricity flowing like invisible water. And one of the key components in his system was quartz crystal.
Typically, when we deal with the energy of electromagnetic waves, it's in what we call a propagating form. It's like the flashlight, you turn it on, and it moves. It propagates through space and goes from one place to another. A standing wave is kind of a different phenomena because the wave just oscillates in one place up and down, and the energy goes in between two different regions, back and forth.
Some researchers believe that, like Tesla, ancient builders discovered the ability to harness and broadcast Earth's power. And the ancient equivalent to Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower may have been the Great Pyramid. Crystal. And some believe the Great Pyramid, in conjunction with the obelisks, made up what may have been a global wireless energy network.
The pyramids were actually geomechanical devices. In other words, they were attached to the Earth. They were tuned to vibrate with the frequencies of the Earth, and they converted the energies of the Earth into electromagnetic energy.
Makes a lot of sense.
Obelisks themselves, particularly the ones we find in Egypt, are in fact giant crystal antennas, and they can broadcast power in the way that Nikola Tesla, the great American inventor, wanted to broadcast power.
Could obelisks have been constructed as ancient energy conductors? And was this expertise really the product of man alone? Or might it have been the result of an otherworldly intelligence, as ancient astronaut theorists contend?
We do know that obelisks symbolize this power of the gods. The top of the obelisk is a small pyramid. It is a Banban stone. And it is the Banban stone which is said to have been a communication device with the deities.
It's possible that inside of some pyramids there might be some sort of energy, let's say some sort of equipment which creates waves. So I could imagine that some of the real gods, the extraterrestrials, some thousands of years ago, they left some little technology inside the pyramid. And this technology was very super modern and powerful.
Could the numerous obelisks found at various sites all around the world actually be remnants of a power system far more sophisticated than anything available today? And is it possible our ancestors may have pioneered other types of power plants thousands of years ago, which would be considered cutting edge by 21st century standards? Some believe the answer can be found in the remote mountains of the Himalayas.
Lauren sees a large disc-shaped craft.
A day after witnessing this UFO event,
She starts to feel like she's being watched.
she suddenly gets a vision of the Men in Black.
An all-new episode of Hangar 1, the UFO Files, is next. With its black tie style and green-minded smarts, it's easy to see why many consider Jeep Grand Cherokee to be the gold standard. One drive and you'll discover why the Jeep brand continues to be the best-selling SUV brand. Join us now during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. Get 0% financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Right now, Verizon is offering unlimited talk and text, plus 10 gigs of shareable data. Yeah, 10 gigantic gigs for $80 a month and $15 per line. More data than ever for more of what you want on the network that's #1 in speed, call, data, and reliability. So you never have to settle. $80 a month for 10 gigs and $15 per line. Stop by or visit us online and save without settling, only on Verizon.
In the Outback, we're stuck in the fire for you. Wood-fire grilled flat iron steak. Just $13.99 for a limited time. We let the bold flavors of the Outback speak for themselves. Outback Steakhouse, done right.
Engine threats lurk around every corner. Corrosion. Wear. junk. But now, you have the power to stay ahead of engine threats. Introducing new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. The best total engine protection you can get. Choose a breakthrough in premium gasoline.
You just went and made a new dinosaur? Probably not a good idea.
Think it'll scare the kids? Everyone, remain calm.
Rated PG-13.
2 martinis. 3 less vodka.
What took you so long?
Why did we put a hot dog and potato chips on a cheeseburger? Because America. That's why. Introducing the most American thick burger. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it, but the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you may find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
There's more commercials in the show.
But you're not even covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
Or how you may be covered for this, but not for something like this. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
There was a winter commercial. In the summer. But back to the show.
The Indus Valley, Pakistan, 1922. The Indian Archaeological Survey discovers the remnants of what is the largest ancient city of the Indus Valley civilizations, Mohenjo-Daro. The artifacts and architecture cataloged at the site indicate a metropolis prospered here nearly 4,600 years ago. But the skeletal remains found among the ruins tell a puzzling story.
I understand that they found a lot of radioactive ash there, and they found radioactive people there. And so the assumption is that there must have been some radiation event. And so it is possible that there was some kind of nuclear explosion there a long time ago. The problem is that in order to do that, in order for that to be the case, you would have to have some very advanced technology.
Volcano.
These people are just lying dead in the street. There's radioactive skeletons. There are ceramics that have been melted. It's as if some kind of atomic nuclear detonation went off in this area, totally destroying these cities and killing everyone. What we may be seeing is the residue of one of the ancient power plants used by extraterrestrials.
But if, as ancient astronaut theorists believe, Mohenjo-Daro was wiped out in a nuclear meltdown, where is the power plant that might have caused such mass devastation? Mount Kailash, western Tibet. At an elevation of nearly 22,000 feet, this mountain is one of the most distinctive peaks in the world.
This is a very interesting shape for a mountain. It is cone-shaped from one side and pyramid-shaped from another. And this is precisely the shape we see elsewhere in ancient Sumeria, ancient Egypt, various other ancient civilizations, whereby this pyramid-shaped object really is said to have some form of power.
In the Eastern world, Mount Kailash is regarded as the spiritual center of the universe and the birthplace of 4 of the world's religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Taoism. For thousands of years, religious pilgrims have trekked here to perform the holy ritual of walking a 32-mile circular path carved along the mountain's base.
Everybody at one point in their lifetime had to go to this place to connect with the gods. And this is really the interesting aspect, because what is it about this mountain which sets it apart from other mountains? There are several possibilities. One of them is that the gods really took residence here.
Is it possible, as some ancient astronaut theorists speculate, that Mount Kailash was once inhabited, or perhaps operated, by the gods? They say the true significance of this mountain can be found detailed in an ancient Chinese drawing.
One thing that's fascinating about Mount Kailash is that numerous religions have stories of gods or transcendent beings actually living here. Hindus believe that Lord Shiva dwelled here, while Jainism associates the mountain with Vishava, the first perfect man. And followers of Bon, a Tibetan religion, believe it to be the home of the sky goddess Sipai Men. Now, you have to ask, did our ancestors tell stories of gods inhabiting this area because they actually encountered extraterrestrial beings? If so, then Mount Kailash was once much more than just a mountain.
Just stay calm and move as quietly as possible. No sudden movements.
¿No conoces? No.
Google search, Bodega Beach House.
I'm eating olives. That is coming.
In the outback, we're stoking the fire for new wood-fire grilled flat iron steak. Just $13.99 for a limited time. We let the bold flavours of the outback speak for themselves. Outback Steakhouse. Done right.
Only T-Mobile has America's best unlimited 4G LTE family plan. That's right, the best in the game. 2 lines of unlimited 4G LTE data for $100 a month. For a plan this big, you'll want a killer phone. Get the LG G4 for $0 down. Add lines for only $40 a pop. So give your carrier the boot. Get the LG G4 and full-speed 4G LTE data that really is unlimited. Switch to T-Mobile today.
10 nuggets for $1.49 back at Burger King. A deal so good, it'll put a smile on anyone's face. 10 nuggets for $1.49 are back, only at Burger King.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for better car replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Tommy Copper has designed comfortable copper and zinc-infused compression gear that redefines muscle recovery and soreness relief for young and old.
It's not a matter of if you get hurt, it's a matter of when and how bad.
I've seen every kind of different injury there is. When I'm done riding bucking horses, my day job begins.
Every little positive increment you can get to make your body feel better counts.
Because of my sport, because it's so brutal, I wear compression all the time.
I really consider Tommy Copper needs to be my security blanket.
Compression is a great way to relieve those everyday aches and pains.
From top athletes looking for another notch on their belt to everyday folks that can't call in sick with a sore knee, shoulder, wrist, foot, or elbow.
It doesn't matter if my feet ache. I need to show up every day.
No excuses.
That's how you stay on top. That's how you become a champion. That's how you put your name in the record books.
Tommy Copper's original 24-hour compression is designed to help harness the body's natural recovery.
You gotta go to TommyCopper.com to get it.
Let's do this.
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing.
Interesting. Bravo.
Everywhere we go, we be fly
What
for
about
nothing.
reality TV shows?
No shade for nothing.
We are selling true love here. True love, people.
No fake dances?
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. My day.
watch that.
The Mogao Caves, Western China. Between 500 BC and 1500 AD, Buddhist monks stored thousands of scrolls and manuscripts inside a series of painted temples and shrines dug into a hillside approximately 600 miles north of Mount Kailash. Here, in 1907, Hungarian-born British explorer R.L. Stein discovered a sealed-off room containing nearly 50,000 manuscripts in various languages.
R.L. Stein finds this incredible place called the Cave of the Thousand Buddhas, which is sort of like a Buddhist hall of records. It's a cache of thousands upon thousands of ancient Buddhist texts. Included within this is the Diamond Sutra, which is the oldest printed manuscript known to human history.
The collection of ancient texts and relics also included a 2nd century AD Buddhist diagram of a cosmic mountain called Mount Meru, a sacred site believed to be a stairway connecting heaven and earth. For nearly 100 years, the ancient illustration drew little notice. But recently, the diagram caught the attention of a scientist from Northrop Grumman, who specializes in the development of advanced weapons for the military.
He said, I design particle beam weapons for a living, for the government. Do you realize that that's a blueprint for a particle accelerator? I went and compared the diagram of Mount Meru with an illustration of what's called a cyclotron, an atom smasher, which was used in the development of the A-bomb for the Manhattan Project. They're a perfect match for one another.
R.L. Stein's diagram of Mount Meru that he found seemed to show Mount Meru as some kind of particle beam accelerator or some device that was stacked up, had different lenses. It would have made it into some device that focused energy. The kind of energy needed would have required some tremendous power plant, something putting out enormous amounts of energy.
Might the nearly 2,000-year-old Buddhist diagram of Mount Meru actually depict a device that today would run on nuclear power?
Mongolian myth says that these celestial beings dwelled around Meru because of the energy that was emitted from it.
That's why I haven't seen that
transmitter of this cosmic
so
power
all new
that fed these celestial beings.
It's next phase. It's such a confusion. But it's been a while I haven't watched this.
Device was, it would have required some extremely powerful
energy
energy source, some type of nuclear power. And I think that power might have come from Mount Kailash. This wasn't a place that actually put out spiritual energy, but what we're talking about is a place that produced raw energy, technological energy. Potentially, we're talking about a power plant.
Could the ruins at Mohenjo-Daro really be evidence that a nuclear power plant existed in the Himalayas thousands of years ago? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and speculate that remnants of a worldwide power grid may be found among the sacred ruins of ancient civilizations all over the world.
Laura sees a large disc-shaped craft.
A day after witnessing this UFO event,
She starts to feel like she's being watched.
she suddenly gets a vision of the men in black.
The next thing she knows, it's one day later, and she has no clue what happened.
An all-new episode of Hangar 1, The UFO Files, is next.
New York.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision.
Way too many olives. Oh my god.
After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is precision.
This is Denali from GMC.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Critics are calling Love and Mercy extraordinary. Paul Dano and John Cusack mesmerize in a groundbreaking dual performance as Brian Wilson.
He played like Sinatra, Elvis. He didn't look like
Love and Mercy, rated PG-13.
There's nothing more romantic than a spontaneous moment. So why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
You could sit at your computer and read all about zero-turn mowers. Click, scroll, tweet, or you could just sit on a John Deere Z435 Easy Track and feel its power. You'll know it'll get the job done fast. When it's time to pick a mower, you've got to get on one. Visit your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today. Sign up to take your turn on a Z435 and save $100 on your purchase. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Lowe's presents How to Plan for the Future.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy birthday. Sorry I forgot our anniversary. Happy Mother's Day.
Now get 2 Majesty Palms for only $16 at Lowe's.
This is the year to visit Ireland. To trace your ancestral roots to the seaside cottage of your great-great-grandfather, Old Tom Flanagan. Or you could head to Boston for the weekend to visit your brother, middle-aged Tommy Flanagan, and discover legendary sandos while cheering with the locals. Yeah, you can do it all, because you saved up to 60% on your hotel with Hotwire. Let's face it, Ireland's really far away. Tom Flanagan is dead.
We have battery, so we're gonna take this out.
Ancient aliens.
And we're gonna move.
Slightly adventurous.
Because I want to be comfortable. I wasn't like an armchair there. Oh, I was on the couch. Because I'm gonna fall asleep soon. Oh, I forgot the bottle.
These sites are
computer.
Of what were once thriving power plants of the 20th century.
Nuclear power is widely used in today's infrastructure, and it serves a very high need. But we also know that nuclear power can possibly become unstable and cause a meltdown.
Come someone now. Cozy.
The ancients saw their own power plants fail, and did that in turn cause some of the greatest civilizations to fall. If we assume that all of these power plants were somehow connected,
It's cold because my window was open.
is it possible that as a result, the other power plants went offline as well?
Some researchers believe, just as modern engineers employ strategic placement of power plants today, so did the ancients. And that some sacred sites were not revered for spiritual or ritualistic reasons, as mainstream scholars believe, but actually valued for their capacity to produce energy.
Certain monuments are placed in certain locations, and we might think this is haphazard.
Energy
We're
points.
slowly beginning to realize that it is not the case. And the reason why is because whether it is the Great Pyramid, whether it's Stonehenge, whether it's Teotihuacan, whether it is another important power site of our ancestors, we're beginning to realize that those sites have an energy which we don't register at first.
But if ancient engineers pulled energy from a power grid, as some researchers believe, why, after thousands, if not tens of thousands of years, did the power stop flowing.
The ancient Egyptians had developed that knowledge over many years, and they must have had tools and technology that do not exist in the archaeological record anymore.
Rick Bates is in the house. Hi, Rick. What's up? What's going on? I'm just relaxing watching Ancient Aliens before bed.